in translation. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. I was just saying to some people as they were coming in, this is the biggest group that we've had in my brand new center that we just opened in August of this year. So we have had probably groups of 30 or 40, but today we were expecting over 100 people, and who knows, by the time the last presenters come, we may have to hang a few from the ceiling or do something fun like that. My name is Lori Spiess, and I'm the owner of OffiCenters and VirtualOffiCenters in the Twin Cities. And I have been working with businesses of all sizes, like Pat has said, in all phases of their development for, don't tell anyone, because this is my first secret, 33 years. 33 years. So what makes me an expert in talking about success? First of all, did I say I've been in business for 33 years? Okay. So how many people are in that first part of their business where your lifespan is probably, you know, between, how about you're in your first year? People in your first year? Hey, cool. How about 1 to 5? Greatest. And over 5? How about over 10? How about over 20? How about over 30? See, it does make me the smartest person in the room just by the sheer numbers, right? Not only, I'm going to tell you that when I have been working in office space with different size businesses coming and going and who started out, I wish you could see a who's who of who has been here. Because we have had some incredible people pass through our doors. And you know what we've done during those 33 years? We work with and for some of the most influential companies right now in the Twin Cities for sure, possibly even in the whole wide world. And you know what we have gotten to do? We've gotten to observe what people do when they're successful. And even more than that, I get to observe what people do when they're on the path to going the other direction. It's not very often that when I come in and I meet a client, I can say to myself, you know what? They're on the right path or they need to get on the right path, right? I am telling you, there are signs and there are patterns, and we see them every day. And these are some of the secrets that I'm going to share with you just based on the fact that we've had so many different people pass by our doors. What is it that we see? The first thing that we always see when people come in is they're starting a business, they're naming their businesses, they have a business in place, but they're really building their brand. You know, in the old days, we didn't talk about brand. We talked about companies. And now we talk about everything goes back to, and the most successful people really concentrate on building their brand. Meaning that everything that they do has an across-the-board type of look to it. It could be the way their website looks, their logos, how they're handing things out. If you notice that all of the people that work for me, when they're doing network and things, they wear the orange scarf, so they always know. Those are the Office Center people. Brand can be as subtle as how you're dressed or what your business card looks like.
Or whether your clicker works.
Or whether your clicker works, and right now it doesn't.
Left and right.
And like I said, I have no idea who picked out this little scripty stuff, but this is not my presentation. For some reason, it switched when it came in here. But these are the building blocks of building your brand. And these are the things that I tell people when you want to be successful. These are the places where you do not want to skimp on your money. Business card. Make sure that your business card is not just something. You know, I went to a place once, and honestly, a woman had something that she had put in the Xerox machine, like a couple, and they were like on a piece of paper. That card, especially when you're networking, says who you are. It says how committed you are to your business, your website. If you're going to spend money anywhere these days, make sure you got a kick-ass website. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to raise your hand, but only in your head, okay? How many of you are using @Gmail, @Yahoo, or something like that for your email address? If I look at that card, I say, you don't even care enough about your business to spend $5 freaking to get @LoriSpiess.com. Just my opinion. Really successful people aren't at Gmail, and they aren't at Yahoo. They have a brand. They're building their brand. They're investing in their office, and they're doing it with small amounts of money that says, hey, everybody, I'm really committed to making this work. A mailing address. Not as important to some people as it is to others, but are you using bricks and mortar, or are you at 123 Powder Puff Lane and everybody knows it's your house? I network sometimes with women who give out business cards, and I always say, that's where your family is. You don't know. A line of security in between. The other thing, if any of you are, how many would like to grow their business and find some capital? If you're looking at a bank and you're using your home address and that is your only address, it's really hard to get funding. Sometimes even our bricks and mortar plans where you can buy a mailbox will give you a more legitimate feel to your business, to lenders, to vendors, to people who are supporting you. Dedicated business lines, and I'm just talking about organizational systems in general, people who will file things, people who have a billing system, people who have some of the things. These successful people have tools to put it all together. Successful people also have workspaces. I don't want this to be an infomercial about my business because I think this is the best thing that could ever happen to anyone. And we just won, at the end of September, the most innovative workspaces at our Global Association conference. Not for what we do and because our spaces are so cool, but because of the community that we're creating and some of the business things that we're doing well beyond. But having a space rather than trying to meet somebody at a coffee shop and all the other types of things, sometimes really gives you an edge up and makes you look like you're a little bit bigger company than you are. Successful people have attention to detail. How many times have you had said, don't sweat the little things? You've heard people say that all the time, right? That's not a big deal, don't sweat it. You know what? Successful people sweat it. The details mean a lot to them. There is not anything that goes out. If you knew how mortified I was that these slides don't have words that you can put over the top, you can't even imagine. Because we go over details. Today, for example, maybe it's just not my day. Because we sent something out, a big invitation to a party that we're having about that big award we won just a couple of weeks ago. So we're having a big woohoo party. Are you guys coming? Hello, I hope so. These are some of my clients too. But we're having a big party, and so we send it out, and guess what? We click RSVP here. Guess where it goes? Dan, you know where it went because you RSVP'd. Nowhere, right? Oh my God, I'm mortified. We're all mortified. But sometimes you just kind of say, oops, 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 things happen. But pay attention to details. Every piece of paper that goes out with your name on it, if the numbers are wrong, spell your clients' names right. Spell the names of their company right, because nothing pisses me off more than getting something where my name is I-E-S-S and it's E-I-S-S, and OffiCenters has a capital C in the middle. And if you're going to do business with me, Susie, and I mean it, spell my name right.
I will.
Because you know what? People notice right away. Well, the first thing, she doesn't even know my name. Now, is that a secret? That we all like to have our name spelled correctly? The other thing is focus. Some of my most successful people always have a great focus. I don't care what's going on around them. If they've got something to do, they get it done. They aren't the ones who are, you ever have like a puppy? Did you ever have a new puppy? And you get the ball, and the puppy's like in the corner and they're waiting? I have clients who are like that. Do you want to play with me? They're out in the co-working space, and I know right away. They're out there just because they want to have some fun, right? And there are other, when they're in the co-working space and they're working, they are so focused that I think there could be a party going on, a lunch over here, and everything else, and they're still honed in on what they're doing. How do you get focus? I don't know, but they have it. I mean, I have a good focus. I shouldn't say that. The people who I think are the most successful, and if you've ever heard me speak before, you will hear me say this again and again and again. They know how to make decisions. Make a decision. If you don't know the answer today and somebody gives you a question and I ask you, what is the answer? If you cannot make a decision, you are stagnating your business. I say, take all the information in and make your best guess. Because tomorrow you can change your mind. But the worst thing to do is to make no decision at all. Or maybe we need to invest in some of these little dice and we can do the yes, no, and maybe. But you've got to make a decision. You have to really work with people who are going to connect with you. Successful people have a lot of people who are around them who are also successful, who also know how to get things done, who can help them, who refer them, and they network, and they're not at home all the time waiting for businesses to call them either by the phone or by their computer. I think I'll wait and see if I'm going to get an order today or a phone call today. And I'll say to people, what'd you do today? Did you get any new orders? No. Well, how many people did you meet? Well, I was home, and then I took my daughter to practice, and then, you know what? Unless you're working at it, you're not going to get there. One of the things that we do at OffiCenters, and the thing that I'm most excited about, is we have a directory of business-to-business listings, and we encourage our people to work with one another. We're doing the big launch party. This is the one that we had the little blip with today, but it's a way to connect. How are you going to grow your business and grow your dollars? Because most successful people that I know are looking to get into some type of a growth mode. Now, I do have to say, we've had attorneys and accountants and different types of entrepreneurial types of people who have been with us for years in their same capacity. They do taxes. They practice law. It's not like, 5 years from now there's going to be 5 or 10 lawyers or CPAs. They want to be solopreneurs who focus on their business and have us take care of the rest. So, success is defined by whatever it is that you want to do. But I'll tell you one thing, that when you have collaboration in your day-to-day world, when you have access to technology and people to help you do things, and networks and community, that people are more successful. It's a proven fact. I always say some of the people who are the most successful think fun is serious business. They smile. They love what they do. I can tell that they really, really like it. They're glad to come to work. They get up. They've got their bills in their hand. They're off to the mailbox. They've got a check and they want us to woohoo and all of those kinds of things. Those people are having fun every single day. If you go to work every morning in your new business and think, I am not having any fun at all, then you need to move to OffiCenters because we're having fun every day. But, find fun. The other thing is billing. I think it was in my article that I wrote too, right? Successful people get their bills out on time. Billing isn't key. You know what? Can you know how many times I've talked to people? I said, how are you doing? We're doing so, billing is so great and whatever else. And then I say, but we're so busy, we cannot get our bills out. Can anybody really be that busy? Because my philosophy is it's not a sale till you collect the cash. I think that's a kind of a red flag. You're not getting your billing out on time or on a timely basis. Get your bills out. To me, that was my happiest day. Yay, it's the day I get to do the bills. And we get to collect the bills and all of that type of thing. And if you're not great at billing, then find someone who's going to help you do it, because billing should be your most exciting and eventful day. When people ask me to talk to them about how do you define success, and I think that they think there's going to be this perfect recipe. But it doesn't have this type of growth. It doesn't have this steady kind of climb. The success that I have looked a lot like this. There's a lot of things that happen. And I can remember at year 10 and year 20, people would think as a milestone, oh my gosh, you don't have to worry as much. You know what? I'm going to tell you. You worry in day 1, you worry in day 32, I still worry. Business is not a constant. There's no time to rest anymore. What did Pat say? 25,000 people are starting new businesses every year in Minnesota. How many of you think that there might be one of those 25,000 people who are doing the same thing that you do? Maybe? Yeah, I'm thinking, right? What's going to set you apart? Why will they choose you? And then, for those of you who've heard me talk before, you know that I always say, it's not only about those 25,000 small businesses who are doing what you do. What about the e-backs? Do you know about the e-backs? Anybody? The extremely big-ass corporations that are doing exactly what you do. Those are my e-backs. Not just the people who are small businesses, but the big businesses. Those big-ass guys, what are they doing? how are they going to choose you over them? Who are you? I'm going to tell you something that really helped me, and I share this with a lot of people. It's called Strength Finders 2.0 by Tom Rath. How many of you have ever done Strength Finders? Doesn't it really help you learn about you? Strength Finders is you buy it. You can buy it on Amazon. It's about $8.95. They send you a book. You go online. You take the test. And then in the book are all the answers about what are your strengths. They give you 4 different areas of strengths. They say, Laura, you're an innovator, and you're, here are your strengths. So when you learn about who you really are, and then you say, you know what, that doesn't mean I'm a detail person. So guess what? I'm probably not very good at doing the bills. That means that the 19 other women that work for me, they better be good billers. Because in my company, we need one really great innovator and then a lot of people to pick up after me because I make a mess everywhere I go, right? So we know that about ourselves. Find out who you are, how you work best, what you do best. Do that more. The stuff that you don't do well, find someone to help you with it. Are these secrets? Seriously, a lot of this is common sense, right? Keep your head in the game. You know what? It's really funny because you can tell when you watch sports sometimes. You got the people on the field, and then you got the people who are playing, and then some people, they are just like, especially when you go to, maybe it's a high school game or you see kids that are playing, they don't even know what's going on the field, right? All of us, and the most successful people, they know what's going on around them. They know that today at 2, somebody's going to come in and they're going to give a presentation, and that somebody's coming in helping with a video, and then I've got something else, and we're all playing. And we all know what's going on in the background, and we're the quarterback, and even when we're on the sidelines, we're watching. We're watching to see where the score is and how many people are paying us and what bills are going out. You need to be able to wear a lot of hats and have a lot of tools, a lot of irons in the fire. The most successful people keep their heads in the game. I'm going to tell you, in 33 years, I have never taken a vacation seriously where I have not checked, like the last, let's say 10 or 15 years, my email. Check my emails in the morning. I never just go for 2 weeks and say, you're not going to see me. I may take a long weekend and say to my assistant, if something comes in, call me. But somebody's always watching the pot for me. Always. The most successful people always have their head in the game and can be pulled in at any time if they really need to. I don't know if you know what this picture is, but it looks like a big clock and time, because I don't care how much money you have, how many staff people you have, how many buildings you own. There's only 24 hours in a day, and we all have the same amount of time. It is the most critical unit that I have seen with successful people to say, how do you use your time? Time management, number 1, spend it wisely. Do you know, probably in the last 15 or 20 years when we've seen our real growth, I don't think I've gone out to lunch with very many people. People go, do you want to go to lunch? I rarely go to lunch. I mean, lunch to me means I have to drive there. I have to sit with somebody, I have to eat with them. That's a big commitment. Maybe that's why I'm single too, I'm not really sure, right? But I'm thinking lunch? No, you know what? I can say what we're going to say in 30 minutes. Come to my office, we'll have a cup of coffee, because I need my time. I've got so many things. We have 5 locations. I have over 20 employees. I have 900 clients at this point. So you know what? I have to be really careful of how I spend my time. So if any of you want to go to lunch, the answer would be no, but come over and join us for coffee and donuts any Wednesday morning between 8:30 and 10:30, and we can network together and do some fun things. Because that would be how I choose to spend my time. And you can choose yours, but I think those are a wiser move to get with people where you're going to have more people in line and all of that other type of thing. I tell people, if you're a successful small business person, you better like to fail. You better learn how to fail. In fact, I wish all of you just a ton of failure, because we have to get failure in our day-to-day life and be able to get over it. But the only thing is I say, fail really fast and fail really cheap. But otherwise, let's get lots of failure, and then we have to get used to it, because you can't get to the success if you don't have the failing. Somebody said, well, 2 people said no to me today. You want to know something? There's probably 30 people that say no to me most days. And no is an okay word. At least it gets your word out, and then people might want you the next time. So learn about failure and embrace failure. I just put a quote up there. Thomas Edison, don't think of it as failure. 10,000 ways that did not work. Eventually you'll get there. Okay, this is my red flags. It says Lori's red flags. If any of you are doing some of these things, and we're going to talk about it, I want to tell you what it is. Here's my big red flag, and then together we're going to say, get help now. Can you help me with that? Get help now. Okay, how many people have voicemail box that's full, 100% full? You can't even have people left, or you know someone who do. We're going to say to that person right now, get help now, okay? Now, we're going to say, people who don't return calls and they have a stack on their desk, and people call us all the time and they go, I left him a message, I left her a message, we've left 15 messages. What are we going to say to those people? Get help now, right? I mean, you can turn these things around, but when I see this happening to all of my 900 clients who are in here or doing some of these things, I'm going to tell them, I say to you right now, get help now. Okay. How about I've seen their mailbox. It's full of mail. They're walking by it. They aren't opening it. It could be on your kitchen table. What about that box that came yesterday? Have you unpacked it? Have you checked the packing slip? What are you going to say to people who can't process their mail? Get help now, right? How about you get calls all the time and they're hanging up? If you know, this is a flag sometimes that people are calling. They want to find out who's calling back. They don't really want to talk to you. They're trying to get to possibly your voicemail box. We're going to tell people, get help now. Right, we are. How about people who have accounts receivable and you've done your billing and now it is more than 90 days out? You don't know how to even collect. What are you going to say to those people right now? We're going to say, get help now. Because if you don't collect that money, the longer it goes out, the less chance you ever have of it coming into your account. And then late, late, late. They're late for appointments. They're late for this. They're late on their bills. They're late getting out their proposals. What are we going to say? Get help now. I'm going to tell you, if any of you have any of these chronic problems, these are red flags. I see these with businesses and I worry for them. Okay, so here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that I want all of you to work hard, and it is fun, and you can make a difference in anything that it is that you do. I have something that says do what you love. I don't want you to just do it because you love it. I want you to do it because you adore it, because the most successful people I know can't imagine themselves doing anything else. I want you all to think outside the box. And for us, that means thinking outside the office. And if you ever need us for help in any way, office space or otherwise, you want to work in a great co-working space, we're here for you. And I hope today, if you learned something, if you liked coming to OffiCenters, if you want to make a comment about our co-working spaces, that you will go to the comment section of the Meetup Startup page that Pat has and give us some great feedback. And really and truly, I thank you for your time. Thanks all of you for coming.